Hello. Welcome to the Voice of Many podcast show with Yolanda and Vanessa.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us. We just wrapped up our recording session with Sugar Mama. So we're at the session that where after we do our interview, we have our table talk session. And during the break, we were talking about using gifts that we have. And Alicia, will you please elaborate?
Thank you. I was saying that the gift that I have is pound cake. And I know so many other people that have different gifts. And what we look at is, well, my parents didn't leave me an inheritance. They didn't leave me money. They didn't leave me the house or the car. Well, my mother didn't either. But what she did leave me was an amazing gift of baking pound cake, the art of baking pound cake. And what we have to look at is not overlook the things, the crafts, and the trades that parents, uncles, aunts, cousins, maybe even a godparent or next door neighbor teach us. We have to stop looking at the monetary things, but look at what God showed me. What's in your hands? What's in your hands? We have people that know how to build. I know people that know how to build a house from ground up. Never went to school for it, but their father taught them. And now they're actually using that gift and have their own business and never went to school for it. Mm-hmm. I know electricians. I know mechanics. And sometimes we are looking at what our parents don't give us. But what we don't look at is the gift
itself
that they give us with our hands. What can you do with the gift?
Yeah.
And I am very passionate. I'm very passionate about that. We have our young people coming up that, especially young ladies, and I guess because I'm a young lady and, well, young at heart. Young at heart. Okay?
We're still young.
52, young. Right.
We're young.
But it's so many of them don't know how to cook.
Yes.
They don't even know how to boil water. And they want husbands. But you got 3 kids, and your kids know it's fast food or boxed food.
Yes.
But the skills that older women, seasoned women can teach them. Mm-hmm. Number one is you have to have a mindset to want to learn. And unfortunately, our young people, they're not the young people that
we grew up
we were.
Yes.
When we were younger, their age, or our parents. We listened to older people. Mm-hmm. They engaged us they didn't engage us in grown people talking. Mm-hmm. Grown folk is what the southern people say. Mm-hmm. But when it came to skills, sewing, cooking, taking care of the house, cutting the grass, gardening, those things, they engaged us, and we didn't have a choice. Yeah. But now we give young people a choice, and so they don't know anything.
And you have to wonder, is it that we have too many options now? Is that the reason why we're not geared at looking at our gifts that we have?
I think the options are one thing, but parents stopped being parents.
Okay, yeah.
Parents stopped being parents and they became friends. So the skills that they could be learning or they should be learning, they aren't, because I don't want to hurt little Johnny's feelings or I don't want to make little Susie mad. But see, to be honest with you, I didn't learn how to cook, honestly, like cook a full meal until I got married at 19. Because I was such a tomboy. So I wanted to go outside. I was the only girl, in my family for the longest. So I wanted to go outside and play with the boys. But there was a time where my mom and my grandma said, come in here
Yes.
and
Yes.
learn. Now, you may not use it right now, but you go learn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You sit
I
there at that
learned how to
kitchen
make
table.
buttermilk biscuits.
Mm-hmm.
I learned how to make buttermilk biscuits and didn't make them again until I was an adult. But I watched
Mm-hmm.
and I had to do it without having options. And so now I have that skill. I didn't learn really how to bake a cake. My mom had me bake a few, but I didn't put it to work until after I got an adult. But she made me come in and learn.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the problem, is that we don't make our young people, and I'm not talking about when they get in middle school and high school. By then, you almost lost them. But you start being a parent when they start turning over
Mm-hmm. That's
from
true.
my neck of the woods.
That's
When they
true.
turn over, you start being a parent.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't stop being a parent till they go by their own house and paying their own bills.
It's true.
Then we could be friends.
You know, because
But I think the skills that we have, that our parents have poured into us, that is an inheritance that we couldn't get anywhere else. Money can't buy what my mother gave me in pound cake. But not only what she gave me the skill, but it's God that gave me the wisdom.
so true.
Because who but God will tell me to put pound cake with chicken salad? They'll put
Mm-hmm.
salmon and chicken salad. Or put lobster and pound cake.
Mm-hmm.
Who but God would take one plain pound cake that everybody knows from the East Coast to the West Coast.
And
Out of that
multiply.
one and multiply
Mm-hmm.
to over 59 flavors and still have the base of that one, and they're all so different.
Well, and you know, and then it goes back to the woman who God told her, gather all the vessels that you can, all the jars that you can,
Borrow from your neighbor.
and borrow from your neighbor, and just fill them with
Yes,
oil until the oil runs out to pay your bill. And
yes,
that's the same way. That's how I see the gift that God has placed with you. Is even
right.
right now, you have that gift that God has instilled in you, and He's still using that gift to help supply your needs.
Absolutely, absolutely. And then even when you brought that up, I can think about how people would come to me and say, hey, I taste this particular thing at this particular restaurant. Like I'll never forget it, the red velvet with cheesecake.
Mm-hmm.
Very first time I made that, I was in Texas. And one of the young ladies, she said, hey, Sugar Mama, I had a red velvet cheesecake. Can you make that like a pound cake? I've had so many that they brought their oil to me.
Mm-hmm.
And I've seen stuff on TV. I got that oil and brought it to the house.
Mm-hmm.
You know, or I've tasted something. It's like, I wonder what that'll taste like. You know, and so, but it was the gift, the inheritance that my mom gave me. And I was sharing with the young man. I think he's a mechanic. And I asked him, did he have boys that he was teaching? And he said, no, I don't have any kids. And so I asked him, what about the kids in the neighborhood?
Mm-hmm.
They don't want to learn nothing. How do you know?
It's true.
How do you know? And a lot of times, because when I get to the place where where I've grown more than what I have now, I'm planning on bringing some young ladies in. Baby, come on, let me teach you how to cook.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know, let me pass this skill on, because my kids, I have 3 children, 2 boys and a girl. My daughter's in the middle. And By her being the only girl, you would think that she would want to know. But see, I didn't learn. I didn't learn my skill of baking until my daughter was on her way to college. So I didn't have that time to, okay, you know what, let me teach you in this business. So by the time I got ready to be in business, she already had her own mindset, this is what I want to do. So she told me, listen, lady, and that's how she taught, listen, lady, you might need to get you somebody that's going to bake. Because I'll do the books for you. I'll do some of the business side for you. But I'm not going to do the baking. That ain't my thing. So I'm going to have to find somebody to do that. My boys, they're not bakers at all. Not that I can't learn. I can't teach them, rather, or they won't learn it. But their mind is so broad with doing other things. Not that they can't come in, but I'm going to teach somebody how to do this. To give somebody else this, and even if they may not have my recipe to do it, but even if they do, if God's saying, then so be it. What am I going to say? It's not my gift.
That's right.
He gave it to, he let me borrow it.
That's true.
And if he want to take it to give it to somebody else, what am I going to say? No, God?
No.
True. But we can't keep the gifts that God has given us to ourselves, just like our parents don't. I'd rather we choose to adhere to the gifts, learn the trade. It's up to us. But I was telling the young man, teach some of those guys how to change tires, how to change oil. Because when they go off to school, do you know how much their parents can save? Hey, after class, I can change your oil for you.
Very true. Listen up, people.
20, 30, 40 bucks. I can change your oil for you.
Yes.
Hey, Roger brakes weekend. Oh, you know what? I have class Saturday. I get out at 12 o'clock. Tell him to bring it round to the dorm. I'll change his brakes for him. That's $50.
To our young gentlemen out there that are listening, this is true food for thought. While you're in college and you have your other friends, even down to the women that are driving their cars.
You might need a change of a tire.
Or change. This is your key. Listen up.
Absolutely. And ladies, let me go on and help y'all out, baby.
They need to learn.
Stop being a damsel in distress.
Yes.
Stop standing on the side of the road waiting on Bubba to come change your tire. Learn how to change your own tire. Check your own oil, because if they never come, baby, AAA will have you out there 4 hours.
Yes.
True.
Any women that want to know, just hit us up and we will train you on how to check your oil, change your tires.
Fill up all your own fluids.
Yes.
Absolutely. And even if you have to take a small class on car maintenance, it is worth it. Ladies, we want to be independent. Be independent that if you don't have a husband or a gentleman in your life to be there for you, that you can do it for yourself. But be dependent enough when God bless you with a husband that you step back and allow him to be the man in your life. But until that time comes, step up to the plate and take care of your business. We have to learn how to do things like that as women. But when it goes back to the skills, our babies are going off to school and know nothing.
So true.
These girls going off to school, mama is a seamstress and she can't even hem her pants. That's sad. That's sad. We have to teach our young ladies, give them the skills that can take them a long way. Further than what we can take them, further than what money can. Because when that money gone, your tire's still going to be flat and you still going to be on the side of the road.
Hello.
And even like times like now to where things are missing in the store, you have to make it from scratch. And if you don't have time that you might have had it, like for me, I had it with my mom and my grandmother both, to where I knew how to make things from scratch. Even like how you said buttermilk biscuits, we did that. We made our own butter. She taught me how to make everything from scratch. So if I can't find it in the store, I know how to make it. My grandmother taught me how to find and pick my greens, my peas, how to make sure I got my grapes and apples off a tree, how to know and make sure what is, safe to pick, which one's not safe to pick. Right. If you don't know how to grow and do your own things, especially if you go into a store, you could pick up the wrong thing and it be completely bad. And you done wasted your money and you might end up sick. Yeah. But if you don't take the time to learn and then teach it to your kids, because like I have 2 little girls who love to be in the kitchen 24/7. If they can't help me make something, they want to stand there and watch me cook or watch my husband cook. They want to observe. They're wanting that knowledge, and I can't tell them no, because that would dismiss all the knowledge that I have gotten from them, even if it's simple as sitting down with them, having a conversation, and teaching them how to split some peas. It's better than them not knowing later on. I want them to know how to cook.
Absolutely. And you don't know what you're pouring into them now, because you're teaching them all of this stuff. And then what is that the next great chef?
It's true.
What is the great next chef? And because you've taken time out to teach them, you may not have the finances to leave them, but what skill have you put into their hands? And that's the whole point. What skill are we putting in these young people's hands that are coming behind us?
Also, and also too, I did just hit me. Now, the young ladies that are in college, you may know of friends or anyone. It could be a teacher that's working late at night. If you can cook, if you get together with your other roomies, pull your ideas together, cook, you can also deliver food to those people that are working late. You can deliver and have friends over to cook with you, and then share that along with your other classmates and people in your dorm. Look at different ways on how you can not just only make money, but reach out and help others that are in need as well.
And that's the big thing. That's the big thing, is that our gifts are not for us. And I got that. I didn't get it in the beginning when I first started with Sugar Mama, because it was all about me and mine. My 3, me and my 4, no more. I was all about that. But until God showed me, number one, girl, this ain't even your gift. I just let you borrow it. Mm-hmm. This is mine, and I want you to operate it. But what I had to do is step back and allow God to show me the why and show me the how. Not that I will get the glory, but for Him to get the glory, for His people to be blessed through this. And when we have a skill, we have to understand that it's not ours, it's God, and it's for us to bless other people. And it would be such a great blessing for those young ladies, like you said, and they're getting together and talking and putting their skills together and cooking meals for their professors and their teachers and their instructors who work late, or those
sick and shut in at church. I mean,
anyway. Right, exactly. Or those students who may not have the money. They're just barely there in school, and barely making it. Well, they can come together and help feed each other. Mm-hmm. How great is that? Well, I don't know how to make cornbread, but I can make a salad. Oh, I make a banging salad, but this one can make cornbread. Well, I don't know how to fry chicken, but I can bake chicken. Okay, so now you got a whole meal. 3 people put the whole meal together.
It's true.
And not just being able to make money, like you said, but also giving. Giving is a blessing.
Yes, it is.
And even with what I do, yes, I'm in it to make money to help take care of myself. But to be honest with you, I have given away. I think I have given away in the almost almost 20 years that I have been doing Sugar Mama. I've probably given away more than I've actually received money for, and I'm okay. I'm okay with that because it's such a good feeling to be a blessing.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what our gifts are for. So,
That's true.
y'all got a skill out there, put it to work. Don't keep it for yourself. Share it with our young people.
That's true.
They're going to need it.
I've experienced that as I married my husband going into the military. I had made friends, and they were all from different countries, different nationalities, and we would have potlucks. And during the potlucks, the kids would get together and have play dates. And if the person was hosting it, if one of us didn't know what they were making, they would show us. And we would all exchange different things. So okay, I had one friend from Korea who didn't know how to make Southern-style fried chicken or Southern-style food. So she taught me how to make Korean-style food while I taught her Southern-style. And we just kept exchanging food and recipes that way to where we've all written them down. And then when you move to a next base, you get to swap recipes and things that way as well. So it's a give and take no matter where you are. You can do that at a church function, like you guys said, or at home with friends or in a dorm with friends. You can spread it out and help each other because knowledge is powerful. It helps.
And a lot of times, too, whenever you make a covered dish and give it to one of your friends or a neighbor, also in a little envelope or a nice colored paper, take that recipe and attach it to it and pass it along. You'll be surprised.
Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. I think that is fantastic. Where I live now, we have, it's always somebody over here. It's always somebody over here. But we have quite a few functions, just people coming over, watching the movie, watching the game or whatever, and they're parking along the street. So for Christmas, I plan on baking cakes for the houses that are in this area where the cars park, just to say thank you, that they haven't complained. That kind of stuff go a long way.
Yes, it does.
Food go a long way with people, especially if it's good. Especially, if it's good. But, and it goes back to caring enough to give the very best. Just to say thank you. And that makes me think about my mom when, and she's gone now, but when she got sick and she realized that I had taken her pound cake and began to do so many things with it, she would laugh at me and she said, "It shouldn't be called Sugar Mama. It should be called Lala, because if it wasn't for my cake, you wouldn't have this business."
Oh, my God.
And I just thought it was the cutest thing. No, I wasn't going to change the name for you, ma'am. But for her to live long enough to see that what she gave me, I treasured. And when people, your parents or your grandparents, you'll never forget your grandmother teaching you how to pick out good vegetables or when the pears were ripe enough to pick. You would never forget that. And learning how to can canned fruit and canned vegetables, how far that can go. You'll never forget that. And so when your parents or someone is giving you the best of them, don't take it light. Don't take it light because they're giving you what they have. They may not have the money to give you. They may not have the material things to give you, but that one gift of how to hammer a nail in straight in a wall, or how to hang sheetrock, or how to put brakes on the first time right. If that's all they have to give you, be thankful and move forward. Do something with it. And like I said, it goes, but for me, it went back to God. What He did. One cake, one flavor. That's all I had. One cake, one flavor. What you bringing? A sour cream pound cake. Well, what you bring to this potluck? A sour cream pound cake. Well, what you baking for the birthday party? A sour cream pound cake. That's all I had until I opened up and said, Lord, this is all I have. And I actually gave it back to Him. If this is what I have to take care of my kids, I give it back to you. Thank you. Because that sour cream pound cake, it helped me pay light bill. It helped me pay rent. It helped me put gas in my car. That one cake. But I was so thankful for that one. And when He began to pull out of me other things and pour into me other ideas. And now here we are. And going even further because He's still pouring ideas and crazy stuff to me, going with pound cake. But as long as y'all keep eating it and He keep giving it, I'm going to keep pushing it out.
and always too, whenever you give your best. No matter if you get nothing in return, folks. Always give your very best.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And always give more than what's expected.
Yes.
But give it from your heart.
From your heart, it's true.
Give it from your heart. And you may not have much. But when you give from your heart to that person, you may not know what it did for that person. No matter what, and don't always look for the money. If it's there, fine. If it's not there, fine. If they can't afford it and God tells you to bless them, bless them.
That's so true.
Bless them and keep it right on moving. Because it is a blessing to be a blessing.
Yes, it is. And you have been a blessing to us. Thank you so very much. So much.
Oh, it is. It is wonderful. I love it. This is fantastic. This is fantastic.
It is. Wait to have you back.
Why, thank you. Thank you. Maybe when I'm invited back, I can tell you I got something new on the table.
We're going to do one up. We're going to have you live doing it up on the table with whatever pound cake it is that you have.
Wonderful. And a book will be coming out soon. It's not about Sugar Mama now, but and I really, really want to talk about that.
We'll have
that is going to be fantastic.
Okay.
Thank you all so very much.
You're so welcome, dear. So welcome.
And to our listeners, we want to thank you for listening to the Voice of Many podcast. If you have any suggestions or questions, please contact us on our many social media web pages. Please don't forget to subscribe to our channel, and we will talk to you later.